Okay, so we've got a wild one today. Like, seriously, this is some real Law and Order stuff, but with a hip-hop twist.
You got that right.
Lil Durk, the rapper,
Yeah.
right, huge name. He's facing charges, and we're talking serious stuff here, like murder for hire. But here's where it gets crazy.
Yeah.
The prosecution wants to use his lyrics, his rap lyrics, as evidence.
It's a bit of a legal minefield, really, and this is something we've been seeing more and more, this whole idea of using art, music, writing, whatever, using that against someone in court.
I mean, can they even do that? It feels kind of iffy, right? Like, are we going to start locking up novelists next? Because they wrote about a bank robbery.
Well, that's the million-dollar question. It really is. In this case, with Lil Durk, it could set a precedent. So everyone's watching.
They are. Okay, so let's back up a sec. Give us a rundown. Lil Durk, charges, lyrics. What is the deal?
All right, so we're looking at Atlanta, 2021. This shooting goes down. Svay Robinson, a.k.a. Lil Pab, gets killed. Turns out he's rapper Quandarondo's cousin.
Oh, wow. So already we've got some rap world connections.
Right. Like right off the bat. So fast forward, Lil Durk gets indicted on a whole bunch of charges. Murder for hire, gang activity, the whole 9 yards.
And these charges are tied to this shooting, to Lil Pab.
That's what the prosecution's trying to prove. Now, enter the lyrics. There's this one Durk track, Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy.
Okay.
And the prosecution says there are details in that song that link directly to the murder.
Well, hold up. So, like, they're claiming his song is basically a confession.
Pretty much. But Durk's defense, they're not having it. They're calling it a flat-out weak case. Basically, they're saying if you got to resort to lyrics to nail someone, you ain't got no real evidence.
Yeah, I saw that quote from his lawyers. When you see an artist's rap lyrics quoted as evidence against them, it is a glaring indication that there is no real evidence against that person. Damn, that's a strong statement.
Oh, it is. And it brings up a whole other can of worms.
Oh.
The First Amendment, freedom of speech. I mean, where's the line between creative expression and incriminating evidence?
Right. Like, rappers tell stories. It's art. You can't just take every rhyme literally. That'd be insane.
Exactly. And that's what the defense is banking on. They're saying, hey, this is creative license, folks. It's not a diary entry.
But, like, haven't we seen cases like this before? Didn't they do something similar with that rapper, TK?
Oh, absolutely. There's precedent here. The TK case, that was huge. His lyrics ended up playing a role in his conviction. So it's definitely a strategy that's been used before.
Okay, so this isn't totally out of left field.
Yeah.
But with Durk, he's got some other things going for him, right? Like, he's not just some random rapper.
Yeah, I got this foundation, right?
The Neighborhood Heroes Foundation is doing some really good work in Chicago, helping kids, trying to break the cycle of violence. That's going to be hard to ignore.
And he's a father, too. Like, there's a human side to this whole thing that's easy to forget when we're talking legalities and lyrics.
For sure. It's a complex situation. We're talking about a young man, a family, a community impacted by violence, and then you layer on this legal battle, these accusations. It's messy. It really is.
Yeah.
But his lawyers are also arguing about something called due diligence or something like that, right?
Yeah, they are. Basically, the defense is saying the prosecution needs to show they've done their homework. Like, they've looked into all other possible leads, motives, whatever, before they jump to using lyrics as their big smoking gun.
So they can't just be like, oh, he said this in a song, case closed.
Exactly. They need to demonstrate that they've exhausted all other avenues. That's due diligence. It's about making sure they haven't cherry-picked evidence just to fit their narrative.
And interesting. Okay, so where does all this leave us? What's the latest?
So Durk, he pled not guilty, and recently he was extradited to Los Angeles. So the trial, that's still on the horizon. This is going to drag on.
Ugh, yeah, it doesn't sound like this is wrapping up anytime soon. It's heavy stuff. I mean, you've got this guy fighting serious charges, trying to clear his name. You've got the legal system trying to figure out how the heck to deal with art being used as evidence. And then you have this whole question about freedom of speech hanging over everything. It's a lot.
It is. And I think it forces us to ask, as listeners, as citizens, where do we draw the line? How do we balance protecting artistic expression with ensuring justice? And how do we make sure we're not letting stereotypes about rap and hip-hop culture bias our understanding of the facts?
Yeah, big questions. And honestly, no easy answers.
Yeah.
This is one we'll definitely be keeping an eye on.
Absolutely. This case, it has the potential to change the way we think about art and the law. So, yeah, we'll be watching closely.
We will.